official show of the NORA Webcast series. It's a show where we're going to be anticipating an upcoming event which is happening next week. So we're going to be speaking about that in more detail with Joe Burke, who is with the event organisers of VAB Events, and of course Joe Fernandez, who is with the key sponsor for the event. I should say that the event next week is a virtual event, and the organisation of any virtual event, I know, to my peril, that virtual events are notoriously difficult to do, but I kind of marvel at what they've been able to organise. The schedule and agenda of events that they have is really quite something to see. So before we get our guests on, let me just show you a little bit of a video that teases up the event for next week.
We can't wait to welcome you to In-House Recruitment Expo London 2021 on the 23rd to the 25th of February. It's critical for corporate recruiters and HRD professionals to stay connected in these challenging times. We've designed our event so that you can connect to your colleagues, your peers, and learn about the latest trends and developments. So what will you experience at the event?
Sure.
Well, we've got a fantastic speaker lineup, seminars, masterclass sessions led by key experts in sourcing and resourcing, interaction by you via our polls, our competitions. Best of all, you can connect with each other via our amazing platform once you've registered. You just need to make sure that you've selected your interests so that you can take part in our competitions. So get ready, book your free seminar sessions via our event website, inhouserecruitmentexpo.com. We look forward to welcoming you to the show. Hi.
Oh, I've just realised my audio was off. So I'm going to say that again. Can I invite to the screen Joe Fernandez, CEO of Oleo, who are the major sponsors for the event, and of course Joanna Burke, who joins us just in time, which is perfect. Thanks for joining us, both of you. It's great to see you. So we've seen the teaser video. Obviously, we have an audience who are keen to find out more about the event. I've been to loads of virtual events, and I've helped organise quite a few of them as well. What's going to be unique about this? Because, of course, people are used to in-person events, and so many of those now have to convert to being virtual. And this isn't your first virtual, but what's going to be different about the event next week?
I sort of appreciate that there's been a lot of virtuals since June, really, May, June time. And I think there was a real, I suppose, push to initially, we've got to get content out. How can we keep our audience connected? There wasn't a rule book on this is how you put a virtual event together, or even think about the next stage, which is a hybrid event. What we did is we took a step back and thought, okay, if we're going to do this, we need to really think about how can we deliver an experience online that is in line with our brand and with the production of our brand, keeping our audience together, but keeping them engaged. How can we keep them actively on the sort of event platform and engaged with the output, while without being distracted too much, and also with a view of thinking, this is great, we really want to come back to this again. So we took all of that, and as you said, we managed to do a small hybrid with a small media studio in October in our office. What we've done is taken that to the next stage of going to almost TV production studio in London, and we're going to be there for a couple of days as a production team with our with the digital production team and also our small event team. And so that is a hybrid event. So that's the first thing that is significantly difficult. The audience will be remote, sponsors remote, all interacting on the amazing platform that we have. But we will be, and our hosts, the amazing Liz Dowling from View, and also David Molloy, who's making a return, will be in studio. So engaging the audience and taking them on that journey through the three days. And the other thing about, I suppose, what we're offering is we've managed to find a platform that actually does provide networking opportunities. So
really important.
Visitors, when they register, they just need to select their interests, and then off they go. They can network with their colleagues, they can network with their peers, they can interact with the sponsors, and also they can engage with us, because we're going to have a Twitter feed, a Twitter board, and also we'll have a Q&A, we'll have polls. So there's going to be a range of activities through the 3 days to keep our audience tuned in. That's what we want. And yes, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, of course, with traditional events, what you have is a mix of a set program, so events that are happening, speakers, masterclasses, demos, and of course, all of the vendors that are there. So all of these things are set out and organised, but in amongst that, attendees can roam, they can wander at will, they can go and see the talks, they can bump into each other, they can bump into colleagues, and the accidental meetings are one of the biggest things that give people value from events.
Yeah, the serendipity. Yeah, unfortunately, this is not obviously a live show where we can all bump into each other and
but the platform that you have still allows for those things to happen.
It does. We've engineered as much as possible that into our design, so that those interactions can happen on a one-to-one basis via video call or chat. We have done that, and we've put segments of engagement through Twitter, through polls, so we can hear the voice of the audience. We've got visually clips of the audience in the broadcast. So so we've done quite a lot of thinking and quite a lot of sweating on how can we actually bring this thing to life. So all of those things have happened.
So I need to ask Joe Fernandez from Aleo. You are the platform sponsor, and obviously
stop! Don't do that!
My partner. My apologies.
We were.
Consultation. No, that's wrong. So
my apologies. My apologies.
Joe?
We were the platform sponsors. We're the gold sponsors of
my apologies.
February edition.
I know you'd probably like that though, wouldn't you, Joe? You'd love it.
This is live, Joe. I know not to
put your hands in your pocket.
My apologies.
We're live now, Joe. I can't say anything now.
What I wanted to ask Joe Fernandez is, as you've been to numerous events and all the in-person events I'm trying to get the hashtag and get it right. So IHREV 21VE.
Yeah.
But from your perspective, how's your approach to this as a virtual event?
Yeah, I think what's really exciting about this is that it gives us an opportunity to catch people on video. So we're, I'm able to get the team out and about, even though they're actually stuck in their own homes. They can catch people online. They can book in appointments. People can come and see our virtual stand. And, let's face it, the logistics of setting up a virtual stand versus the in-person stand and the setup day is completely gone. So that's a massive saving. The actual benefits of the show remain the same. So, you get the same feel as if we were running around Olympia doing, several laps. I think I would say I do 50 odd laps of the Olympia West floor most years, but this time we're just literally going to be lapping around all the different people on the Umbrella platform, just trying to chat to everyone.
Not working off the calories in the same way, but probably not
working off the
consuming
calories in the same way.
chocolates.
It might be worse for the calories if you have bowls of snacks.
Yeah.
I just noshed my pancakes for Pancake Day before jumping on this.
Very good.
So,
Very
calories are a thing of the past at the moment.
So the key thing, Joe Burke, obviously the audience, you have vendors who are part of the event, but and all the speakers, and I'm very lucky to be one of the speakers at the end of the first day, which is really nice. I know the organisers, but the key thing are the attendees, the in-house recruiters themselves. What can they expect to see from the show? What can they expect that's going to be, frankly, more value than you get in the traditional walk-in events? Because I know that there's a huge amount of extra value that you get from virtual events. You can cover more ground for a kickoff.
Well, I mean, what we've done, as I said, we've engineered in a couple of sort of features that are unique to the show. So we've got, for example, a couple of competitions running both days. Day one, in particular, is the prize is amazing. It's been donated by View, who are a startup of JC&Co, by the amazing Liz Dowling. Offered that for the event, and that prize is a month's access to their experience learning platform, which is from Udemy. I want to get the name right. And so that is an amazing prize. And we're really appreciative of that. The other I suppose area is that for the first time that I've heard of, we're actually going to be doing a virtual within a virtual.
Wow.
Which is quite
work?
Interesting. So we've got a drinks reception, so keeping that feel of the after party in the real world. 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock, visitors can enter our virtual reception. It's powered by Unlocked, which is a relatively new startup, and it's a bit like speed networking. That's the way to think about it, really. You enter the lounge for 15 minutes to congregate and say hello to each other, and then you are then pushed to the bar, where everybody really usually likes to go. And in the bar, we're going to be announcing our day one virtual best virtual networker in the bar. And then after that, you'll be able to get into the games of the platform. So there's lots of games. It's a bit of relaxation, bit of fun after the day.
Fantastic.
It's just in case you've not had enough for the whole day on the virtual platform. So, you get another hour.
That's brilliant. So with any of these events, there's always, and it kind of goes by the mood of the day or the mood of the times that we're in. There is a theme. There's a theme that runs through, all of the the talks, the masterclasses, the presentations. What's the key themes that are being explored this year? What's most topical right now?
I mean, we reflect what's going on in the real world. That's how we work with our event, and I think the key theme that has really pulled through is transition. It's transition to the new way of working, the new ways of engaging. It really, we are in the fourth industrial age. We are living it right now. And, what does that mean in real terms? I suppose we just coined it to reflect what recruiters and HRDs are having to work through. Is about reinvention, it's about reimagining, and it's also about re-engaging your not only candidates but your workforce, because by and large everyone at the moment, and maybe even going forward, are working remotely. So that's a very different, and also recruiting remotely. So it's a game changer. That's what's happened. So it's how does our audience navigate that new reality? And our program, reflects all of that and pulls that through with experiences from the likes of Asda, for example, the Ian Everett's team, how they had to cope with, really 16,000 employees overnight, vulnerable individuals, couldn't work anymore. They had to bring in about 24,000 new employees in 4 weeks. How did they do that? So we've got examples of, great stories, journeys like that, and then also looking to the future, looking to the new candidates of the future coming through. There's Zen Gen generation, with Mills from Tapping, the great Rebecca Fielding, who is just amazing, that woman from Grad Result, talking about her strategies on looking after candidates and graduate candidates, and then looking at the now in terms of the communication of your brand and employer branding. We've got just reaching for, we've got iSIMS talking about that, our platform sponsor, talking about humanizing your brand and transforming your hiring. So we've got real nuggets of gold, to be honest, that our visitors can really take and really utilize when they're back in their workplaces. So practical tips and guidance.
So in looking through the agenda for the 2 days, aside from me and Joe, obviously we'll give amazing talks, but and Joe Fernandez, you're on at 11 o'clock on the first day. From your perspective, what are the types of talks that are going to stand out for you? Are there particular ones that you've seen you think, I'm going to make a point of getting along to this?
I think what works magic in the same way as it does physically, it is in the virtual environment, is just actually all the exploration of best practice and hearing it from the practitioners' voices themselves. And, the Expo does a fantastic effort of actually getting practitioners to come up and talk and give their case studies. And that really brings things to life, and at least gives people ideas when they are walking around the floor and asking for different sources of ideas that reflect back on what they've heard in the talk. So I think those are really powerful. And it's a great 2 days agenda full of those sorts of things. And of course, the third day is there in case you've missed anything. You can come back on and catch those talks.
Yeah.
So that's one of the biggest features of virtual, where anything that you've missed live on the day, you can come back and check out. So you can't have that with a typical walk-in event.
The footprint of virtual is longer than a show in one sense, and what, as Joe just mentioned, we're doing it every 3 days, and day 3 is the replay. Visitors can come back and catch up on any sessions that they didn't have a chance to meet when the days were live. But what we're also doing is we're extending the time another 2 weeks. So yet again, visitors will have a chance to really catch up and engage with the content, but also our sponsors and partners who will be dipping in and out to support them during that period of time. So it just gives that, that there is that bandwidth that you don't get with the live events. That is correct. It makes it more interesting, I suppose, to be able to facilitate all of that, which we will do.
Absolutely.
Happily as well.
I don't want to show any bias, but and everyone else will have their own cherry picking exercise of the talks that they have to see.
Don't say so, Stu. Please don't.
No.
I know you're leading up to that.
I'm up to here with me. I've heard everything I'm going to say anyway. But the ones that stand out for me, David Scott, Nationwide. Really want to see that candidate engagement. You mentioned before Ian Everett from Asda. That's going to be a corker. Rebecca Fielding, Good, Bad and the Ugly. Rebecca is always very, very good. And on day 2, and again, I could watch them all. So I'm definitely not going to miss Rachel Dalboth. Because she's got acres of stats and figures to share, and because they dip into so many other organisations, they've got that overview. So it's really good to get that. And in the masterclasses, the ones that stand out for me. the Radical Recruit talk, Thomas Lee Ragg, that's going to be a corker. But yeah, I mean, it's unfair of me to pick out some.
Yeah,
but
it
what I'm saying is that everyone will have a different thing that they're looking out for, and I think everyone's catered for is my point really.
Yes, everyone's catered for. Covered obviously employer branding, candidate engagement, diversity, inclusion, graduate recruitment. All the key areas, stakeholder management. It's all there. So whatever level you are, come to the event, register, sign on. There will be something for you.
So I need to know, as I saw it was tweeted just a little bit earlier this morning, how does the community hub work?
Well, what we're doing, as we talked about the bandwidth and the footprint of the event, and something that's come out of doing this is that we've got all this great content. Yeah. And visitors were coming back saying we want to engage with content again after the last event. How do we do it? So we've taken that and we've created a hub. Firstly on the summit site, and it really it houses the speaker content for seminars, masterclass sessions, and we've wrapped around that resources for the audience. So you can hear leaders talk about a letter to my younger self, just giving their view from about 12, 18 months ago, on the couch. Another leader talking about giving their view, their world view on, current situations, what their experiences are. We've got topics on diversity, inclusion, assessment is one of the areas that we've kicked off with. And then we've also got white papers on there. So there's a wealth of resources that they'll be able to, visitors can tap into all year round. So that's an all year round little hub that links into our live events and virtual events. And we're going to do implement the same structure into London, VE, once the event closes. So we'll collate all of that content and create another beautiful hub for our audience to enjoy.
Superb. So one of the things, if I was working in TA right now, if I was working in TA with a sizable employer, then I would know that I've got acres on my plate right now. I'm redesigning the workplace because people who are not working in the office, they're working remotely, or people who are working in the office because they have to. It's a different environment, or in the factory environment, or transport, logistics, any workplace that you are in. There will be major ramifications. So it means that anyone certainly in HR and of course in talent acquisition, they're having to redesign what they do. What they had by way of brand messaging last year won't do for this year because it's all changed. The apple cart has been flipped. And if you're working in a company, then you can somehow have the impression that you might be the only person experiencing these things. So when you go to an event like this, when you see the speakers who in turn are responding to the events of the day, the events of the times, then what that gives you is information on how everyone else is dealing with it, how everyone else is handling that, and insight to best practice. So that kind of thing, from not just from the speakers and the masterclasses, but everyone who's involved, you're getting to connect with those people who are experiencing the same things, but within different types of organisations, and that's the real value in these events. You're not just sitting on your own in your company. Yeah,
it's peer-to-peer learning in its truest sense, essentially. That's what the event provides: peer-to-peer. Deep insights and practical tips and guidance that visitors can take away and really use in the real world. So
So if people can't make all 3 days, what do they get if they're not able to make it on each of the or either of the 3 days?
So as I said, it's open for 2 more weeks. So we've got to the 11th of March, which is
so you can simply log in and see the content.
To actually engage with the content, but also, as I said, we'll be taking that and developing our hub. So that will be going live about end of March, April time. Developing, allowing, basically.
So in prepping speakers to come along for this event, they'll all they should know anyway. But do you give them particular direction in terms of what we're looking to bring to our audience? What we're looking to bring to our audience in terms of innovation and food for thought and practical things that they can use immediately in their own workplaces?
I think in terms of innovation and food for thought, as I said, we've got fantastic examples of that through the likes of ASDA, through the likes of Radical Recruit, actually, who are marginalised. They support marginalised candidates who may be homeless, who may just dealing with challenging scenarios of life. And the amazing thing about those guys is that, through the pandemic, they're still recruiting candidates who are homeless or, facing life challenges in their tens, basically. And we're supporting them. We're working with them with this event. And perhaps a little bit of an aside, but as part of our campaign, we're sending out a schedule. We've created a PDF representation of Seminar Speaker Board. And on there's tweet Radical Recruit, so IHRE 21VE. Tweet that Radical, and we will donate £1 to Radical Recruit to support them. For every tweet, we'll donate.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
For people who aren't fully switched on to what Radical do, and I'm not a spokesperson for them, so I might be getting a bit of this wrong, but essentially what Radical are doing is they're leveling up the playing field for people who are in a disadvantaged position when it comes to applying for jobs. So whether you've had difficult circumstances, you might not have the tools that everyone else would expect people to have when applying for jobs, or it might be you're an ex-offender. It might be that as you say, you come from a background where there's handicaps or other factors that hold you back, that make it difficult for you to apply for jobs. So they help people prepare their CVs, their LinkedIn profiles, making sure that they're well prepped before going to interviews, and that they're in a position to compete for jobs alongside other people who would have all those advantages.
Correct. And that is outstanding work. And their leader, Emma, is just an amazing woman. And
she's an inspiration.
We've got they're doing a fireside chat on day 2. And she's going to have, she calls them radicals. So she's got 2 of her radical colleagues speaking, which is just amazing to hear their stories.
Superb. So you personally, because whenever you organise a party in your house, for example, you always you're running around doing all the organising. I haven't done that for a while. That would be fantastic. Well, remember back in the day. But also when you organise events like this, it's difficult to enjoy it in the same way. But even still, there'll be elements of it you're thinking, I'm really looking forward to this element of what's going on. What are you most looking forward to, Joe and Joe, both of you? Not
having to think about this anymore. No, that's not true. I'm really excited. It's been a bit of intense 3 weeks. I mean, we're going to be live. Us guys who are producing it, we are going to be in the studio, in person together. So that is going to be nice. Yeah. There's no doubt about it. I'm looking forward to that. But really seeing it all to come together, seeing all the speakers, seeing the engagement, seeing from the audience, and all of those components, which is similar to the live, apart from it's remote. Seeing that, I'll go, we've done it. We've done a good job, and it's all worked. And seeing all the connections, active or in the platform.
You get a buzz out of that.
Great. I get a buzz out of all of that. I love bringing people together. That's what I do. I bring them together. Yeah.
Joe Fernandez, what's the main thing you're looking forward to?
For us, I think we're really looking forward to feeling that expo experience, feeling like we are out and about, we're engaging with actual in-house recruiters, getting their food for thoughts, understanding what their new landscape is, and how help. I think that sort of engagement is treasured. You know, I can't lie, I'm going to miss all the free swag that I collect at in-person events. You know, I can live off that swag, but I think
that's so true. So
I know some people who go bananas on the swag. Louise Trines, for example, she always and she give her due. She'll post about it afterwards, so she gives kudos to all of the companies who've given the branded gear that she has. But she comes away with bags of the stuff, and hats off to her.
No, it's good stuff. Yeah, we miss all that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's great to see. The thing that really stands out for me, and I'm not pointing fingers at any other event, but the live aspect of the event next week is the thing. When you have something live, as we're live now, anything could happen. You know, I could fall over, the roof could fall in. But when you're doing things live, there's an element of jeopardy. No, I'm not trying to put the frighteners on you, but from an audience point of view, when you see someone giving a talk literally live, then you're more inclined to switch it on. In the same way as you might have a box set of Tom Cruise films in the cupboard of DVDs, but when the film comes on TV, you switch it on and you'll watch it. So when it's live, you pay more attention, and that aspect, I say, from my point of view, is the big thing.
Yeah, it's more exciting.
Yeah, and that's why we're really looking forward to the tweet along, because actually seeing interaction is amazing.
Yeah.
And really recognizing where people are spending their time and understanding what they're thinking about. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
No, it is exciting. What? Just thinking about that. What prize are you doing? You're doing a competition, Joe.
We're got a prize draw for £100 gift card of your choice.
Okay.
Cool.
If you come along to our actual virtual stand and have a chat with us.
Okay. And then you'll just select the.
We'll select after day 3, but we'll do a selection and announce.
You'll do a selection and announce. Okay, fine.
Tremendous. Great. That's brilliant. Well, I'm real looking forward to it. There's only a week to go. It begins on the morning of next Tuesday, so we're under a week to go. Yes. If you're not registered already, then get your skates on.
Why not?
Yeah,
are you mad?
If you're in-house recruitment and HR, then you absolutely have to come along. It's one of the events of the year. It's a must see. I'm going to be there. If that's not enough, then I don't know what is. But more than me, Joe and Joe are going to be there, and a stack of even better speakers than me. Frankly, I'm all right, but they're really good. So anyone who's not registered, please do so. Please watch out for the tweets on Twitter from In-House Rec Expo is the account, and you'll see the hashtag there as well. The website is inhouserecruitmentexpo.com. You'll see the link to register down here, if I'm pointing in the right direction. So register with this button here now, and I really look forward to seeing you at the event. So with that, thank you very much for being my guest today, Joe Fernandez.
Thank you.
Looking forward to the event next week, and everyone else who's coming along, please tweet about it, share with your colleagues, get everyone to come, and look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks very much. Thanks everyone. Bye-bye. Bye.